I play around with my powers while I wait and make a sculpture of coal. It is effortless. I have years of interactions with him stored in my easy access memory banks. He has been gone for 2 days now. I look at the refractions in his shape. It is a hot day and he will be gone soon. I should not have made that. I detect my emotion readout decline. 2 days are not a long time, but the circumstances of his departure troubles me. The note he left behind was most perplexing. She will be here soon. She is always punctual. I look up at the floating island in the sky. That does not compute. I have run countless scenarios, but none of them make logical sense. Even with my recent upgrades, the numbers just don't add up. I wonder if I would be able to get it right if Pixel was still in my head. I conclude that some factors in this world must be outside the grasp of logic, like my own power. I have vague memories of how I got them, but there is no logic I can make of that either. Just that it happened. I see dust at a distance from a car approaching. It lifts my emotion readout a bit. Claire is good to have around. It is nice with an outside perspective on things sometimes.
Hi, Zane! Hot day, isn't it?
Claire looks over at the puddle under the unshapely ice block which recently resembled coal, but she does not comment on it.
Ready for a bit of housekeeping? I know I am!
Claire seems to love coming here, even though her job is the mundane one of cleaning the temple and doing small repairs. She always seems so joyous. She has a history with the temple. Back when it was still haunted by the ghost of Sunset Yang, her father was the caretaker. It had become a tourist attraction back then. He did not do a very good job. Claire has told me that he fully believed in the stories about it being haunted, and he was deadly afraid of it. That is the reason the temple was such in disrepair back then. He would not go near it and mostly tended to the grounds around it. Claire, on the other hand, is not afraid of anything. She often made her way inside to explore the staircases, studies, corridors, dojo, atelier, and such. I suspect she knows the interior layout better than we do. She seems very eager today.
Can we do a sweep at the temple? Please?
I was expecting her to say that. I am not comfortable with it. Summoning my elemental dragon has become increasingly difficult these past few months. It takes a much higher level of concentration now. The others have felt it too. I've run simulations on the scenario that has something to do with Master Wu going missing, but the feedback offers no explanation. Maybe it is another one of those things that cannot be defined within the parameters of logic. I find myself saying, "Yes, Claire, a sweep could prove most satisfactory." It contradicts my coding to endanger another being unnecessarily. I shall strain myself to make it safe. It is very interesting to observe Claire as we take to the skies on my ice dragon. I focus on the dragon, but it is hard to ignore the pure and unhinged joy she expresses. Our lives have become lives of duty and responsibility. Claire is not burdened by that. I admire and envy her. I find myself enjoying the few sweeps of the temple while Claire waves enthusiastically at Misako feeding the koi in the pond. As we sit down, Claire wastes no time. She loves that temple, and the fact that it is now floating and in pristine condition is just another plus for her. She seems to be a bit disappointed that it is no longer haunted, though. She chuckles as she keeps talking about how that was the thing that made her father keep his distance. Now that it's not haunted, keeping the ground shouldn't be a problem for him. Except that he is also afraid of heights. It was Lloyd's idea to get some help to take care of the temple. We need to stay focused on our search for Wu. We will soon be leaving again. I guess Jay will need a new search partner. Misako, perhaps. She greets Claire with a warm hug.
Great, Wohira, this place looks great! Less than a year ago, it was a complete mess. an awesome complete mess. But look at it now. Dad had his hands full keeping looters away. But with this whole airborne thing you guys got going, I guess you don't have that problem anymore.
Not at all. Having the best ninja in all the land and some elemental dragons around also helps. We have not told Misako about our fading ability to summon our dragons. The loss of Master Wu has taken its toll on her. She is as driven as any of us to find him. She puts up a brave face, but I can feel her pain. She pins up photos everywhere, not just of him, but also us, our friends, and those we care about. Even on the bounty, I have not observed such behavior in her before. With loss comes reflection and appreciation of the good things in your past. My processors have no problem finding the logic in that. Follow my lead, Jiran tells me as his eyes scan over the street, making sure we are unseen. I do not like doing this, betraying Celio's hospitality. But after all, this is the reason why Yang sent me here, so I hide away my guilt for later. He scans the street to make sure the coast is clear, and then he air jitsus to the roof of one of the tallest buildings. I follow. When I join him, he is already removing some wooden boards from the side of the wall. I did not come to this place by chance. I was following a lead. His voice is intense. Come inside. No one knows this room exists. It is dark inside. Only the light of the rift on my head illuminates the room. I see that Jiran has a reason to be secretive. The place is filled with ornate artifacts, vases, weapons, idols, and paintings. He turns to me and looks me straight in the eyes. All this stuff is authentic Erio period. Those villagers were the building materials that this stuff comes from. They were old, but they were in fine shape. They were abandoned. No one knows why, when, and what happened to the people who lived there. They just left, or were taken. No one knows. Jiran swallows hard. And that's not all. There's not only stuff here from these towns, there's something else. Something I made years ago, back when I was still a ghost. He points to the corner of the room, and there, bathed in the light of my rift, is a portrait of Master Yang.